Hey, Gavox here. So this is the portion of the Madden podcast where we talk about gameplay with Eric Rayweather, since that is his center of expertise right now. I have a link to the description to Eric's channel, Tex's channel, and the full Madden podcast. Otherwise, you can listen to us on iTunes. Gavox, are you excited for this week's show? I'm pumped. I'm excited. Woo! All right, everybody. I hope you guys are too. Enjoy. Michael Vick is the fucking Terminator right now. I can't tell you how many times I've hit him with Cam Chancellor, and he bounced off it like the Terminator, or Bill Brasky taking a fucking shotgun blast and then just runs the end zone. It's fucking, like, secure tackle doesn't work with hit sticks this year, which I guess is fine. But with 99 hit power Cam Chancellor, he needs to absolutely decapitate Mike Vick if he can get a solid hit stick in there. It's terrible right now.
I mean,
like,
the gameplay,
broken tackles on the running backs.
This is the worst the gameplay's ever been, other than maybe Madden 09. And I don't know how seriously y'all played in 09, but competitively the gameplay was terrible in 09. But this is like right there with it. And last year wasn't very good either. But I would say the thing that ruined last year more than anything was just the 91 zone being so overpowered. But this year, just everything there's not a one redeeming quality about the gameplay this year. And
you forget, 18 had a lot of issues with it too, as much as 19, not more than 91 zone. We only remember the big things.
But I think if you take 91 zone out of 18, I think it's significantly better.
The offensive line blocking was just as bad as it is this year.
I feel like it was a little bit like this year is like rock bottom bad. I don't think it was that bad last year. It was so bad last year too. It was bad last year, but this is I think it's even. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but this year it's worse. To me.
I think this year's worse because of the pass off. We didn't have pass offs last year. At least I don't think we did. This year, I hate when guys block. Did we have pass off? I have seen more pass off sacks this year than I have last year. Or literally a guy will run in and my guy just vacate.
They just let him go for no reason.
What is going on here? Or because if a guy he slants in, slants out, a guy just runs between the right tackle, left tackle, or with the interactions this year too, especially like a guy if he'll rush 3 and then I'll try to position myself behind my left tackle, who's because it's a spy up, and then a guy like Khalil Mack will come through my right tackle, and my left tackle just stands there, doesn't even try to engage. The blocking this year is really bad.
Blocking was better last year. It was definitely better. It wasn't good, but it was better. Like even just the halfback alone blocked way better last year. Like this year, the halfback is useless. He's useless. He doesn't block anybody.
Okay. You guys are wrong for one reason. Last year we had consistent blitzes that everybody ran that consistently beat blocking. This year, they've patched a lot of those blitzes, so the only blitzes that we're seeing this year are ones that randomly get through, that get the RNG through. Like last year, you could get them through. This year, you pick up a lot of them. The only ones that you get through are when the offensive line fucks up. So you only see it when the offensive line fucks up. Last year, you expected them to fuck up.
I don't think there's really consistent. Last year, the only consistent blitz.
Great either.
The only consistent blitz last year was crossfire, and there were ways,
and that's what everybody ran.
But there were ways to block crossfire at least somewhat consistently. This year, it's just all block shed defense, which is kind of worse. In a sense, it's because the block shed defense it don't matter what you do. It's just so random that it could just get to you in an instant, and all it takes is a sack to really kill a drive against the average player.
Yeah.
So
okay. So me and Matzer had a big debate about this earlier this year. He said inconsistent pressure isn't that good. This was right before 3-3-5 odd took off, and I threw the 3-3-5 odd blitz at him. He said he doesn't think it's going to be very good because it's inconsistent coming home. And I'm like, that's why it's good, because it comes home at least once, right? And so this was pre-patch obviously, and then it blew up and got huge, and then he had to eat crow on our last podcast. So the reason last year is because we had consistent blitzes that got through a good majority of the time that we were able to beat people with by doing that. And so he wants that kind of stuff back. I don't want those instant gap blitzes and stuff. So this year, because we can pick it up a majority of the time, we're only seeing it when offense lines fucks up. But just remember, last year we still had guys missing run blocks. The targeting was shit last year too. Wide receivers still run past their guys.
Targeting is
the
so
offensive line
bad.
logic has not. What's that?
I said targeting is. I mean, it's been bad, but I feel like it's just gotten worse though. If that's even possible. Targeting this year is just.
Been bad for years. Don't nostalgia get in the way. It's been fucking
No,
terrible.
it has been, but it feels like maybe it's just because it's the current game that we're playing. It just feels like it's even worse this year.
Exactly. I agree right there. That's my point.
I know it's worse because I run Wildcat and my guys never blocked the right guy this year. They just run by people. It's worse this year. I can't run Wildcat at all.
People got Wildcat D this year because it
got
popular for a week.
No, I get you. They got Wildcat D, but when literally my tight end runs by, last year my tight end at least blocked somebody.
Dude,
this year,
shit happened last year.
No, I don't
Just
recall.
bring up the Twitch clips.
Twitch clips. I got like a compilation on YouTube of blocking working right last year.
I think I think both things can be true. I think blocking has been bad for a while, but it's also worse this year. Even if it's hard to tell the difference, I just feel like we're at rock bottom with protection. I feel like last year the running back actually could pick up blitzes the majority of the time. Like maybe not crossfire, but it would pick up outside heat. Like this year, the running back will literally stand there and watch a guy run right at his face and just stand still and he'll just let him hit the quarterback. I've got endless clips. Like I wanted to make a video on it. And I got endless clips of this. Endless.
Yeah, I know that.
Last year he at least tried to get a hand on somebody.
I'm not bailing out this year's game. This year's game blocking sucks. It is fucking terrible. But it has always been terrible. It is like one of the biggest demands that I've asked for since I've started playing Madden. Offensive line logic improvement, and they always fail to fix it. They've been decent in the last few years, ever since they added slide protection, ID the mic. We've gotten better at picking up blitzes since like Madden 17, since we got 18 with ID the mic and stuff. So like, let's not joke ourselves. Like, offensive line.
Well, see, this is my thing. This is my honest opinion was I think 18 took a step in the right direction, and then 19 feels like it took 2 steps back. Like 18 had improvements way more than because we came off 17 with nickel blitz, 3 people, and you just couldn't block it. And we came off of 16 where it was like instant D-line nanos just walking into the backfield. 18, you couldn't do none of that. It was literally crossfire was the only thing, and we had never run that really before, so it was like something.
What do you mean? Crossfire was huge in 16. Crossfire
at the end of the year, at the end of it, but it was like, but wasn't it like it looped outside? It didn't loop through the gap.
Mike scraped 3 in 16.
Right, but it didn't loop through the gap, right? It looped through the outside that year. I stopped playing it into 16, so I don't 100% remember.
It was the big dime 146 got an A gap in 16. Is that what you're talking about? And then you had the nickel 3-3. Oh, it was a nickel. It was a nickel package that had the crossfire in it too.
Maybe it did. Maybe I'm forgetting now. Really I stopped playing like towards the end of 16. But I'm saying like last year, crossfire was the only thing. Like everything else, the blocking, ID the mic took care of a lot of stuff, and the running back was better. This year, it feels like all that just went backwards, and none of it works. And then you add how good the block shedding is on top of it. It's the best it's ever been. Like, I thought 18 at least took somewhat of a small step in a positive direction coming off of 16 and 17. And this year, it's just going all the way backwards. Even though there's not a lot of crazy blitzes this year, it's just the O-line is so inconsistent to the point where it's just like, it don't matter who you put out there. They're just whiffing on blocks, not targeting, running past people. They just, like, it's like they have the IQ of, like, I don't know what has a bad IQ, but that's what they have. It's terrible. Like they just
we'll just say goldfish.
Yeah, like
I 100% agree with you. I just don't know. I don't know about the step backwards. I think it was bad last year. We just had a better heat. But anyways, that's enough of that. We'll just have to agree to disagree on that one topic about blocking because we're just going in circles here with our different opinions.
So I've played a guy that I got a gameplay of that I might have to show you after. He came out in quarters band press, and I only runs that would work or outside run. If I ran inside zone, I would get tackled for a gain of 3, gain of 2.
Huh.
But outside runs worked fine. If I run like a stretch play, so it's again product of like how this game works. Like not all runs are equal in terms of like what you have to run against a certain defense. For guys out here with 3 down live and spying a D tackle, bro, I should be able to run the ball up the middle. But the game sucks. So
every time. I've hated that for like 10 years in this game. Like if you have a 3 down line, if you're in dollar or quarter, like I should be able to run an inside zone up the middle for at least 8 yards. Like because you have once those linemen get to the second level on like safeties and linebackers, like most of those guys can't shed those blocks in real life. Like they get ran over. But in this game, they'll just run right past the linebacker and let him just have like first rights to you, and you get 2 or 3 yards. It's stupid.
It is pretty dumb, yeah. But that's, shooting gap D is a great way of having run D. So many people have it right now.
Did y'all notice that? Y'all noticed? I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the targeting got a lot worse once they kind of fixed crossfire this year. Because it was still a thing at the beginning of the year, and once they fixed crossfire, it's because of the way they had to fix crossfire. To my knowledge, it had to do with the targeting, because no one would target the looping guy coming through. So once they got that fixed, now the targeting on a lot of other like runs and stuff like that is just absolutely terrible, because like they had to like almost like band-aid it to fix crossfire because it was like running rapid, but now like the targeting on everything else sucks as like a result of it. So it's always like you fix one thing, but something else is gonna be bad.
I think the most embarrassing fix this year had to do with crossfire, in my opinion. Like I can understand incompetence. I can't understand you competently taking contains out of the game, like, and just making them useless. When Mike Vick was already powerful, and then you made contains absolutely useless, that's probably the most frustrating fix or change they've had, because they couldn't stop it. Like, why couldn't they just do it like last year, do the same fix as last year, where the outside linebackers, the cornerbacks couldn't be on a contain? And that fixed it well enough, but you could still run contains as a general defense.
Right.
Right now, they just kind of stop. They don't even rush the passer instead of actually like getting up and closing or pushing the pocket a little bit. So like
It's a lot of like short-sighted changes, I think, happen.
Yeah,
Like they feel the pressure to
easier
fix
thing-
something, and
Yeah, the easier thing to do. So crossfire is an issue. So they said they can add new plays into the game. What you do, you literally just take that crossfire out of the game. Like that's a better Band-Aid fix than making contains into shit, right? Just replace crossfire
I just think
with a different defense.
it's-
Like you don't need a looping. Like they took out D-line slants. Like until you can find a competent way of doing it, instead of breaking the fucking game, like
Right.
choose the lesser evil.
Yeah, no.
Choose it and then fix it for next year's game.
I think when it comes to stuff like that, I could be wrong, but I know one thing that they don't like doing is I know they want to like set a precedent for something and then have it be expected. So it's like, oh, they took crossfire out, so now every time something pops up, people are gonna be like, just take it out of the game. And I think that's like a rabbit hole you don't want to go down either. But I get it.
That's
It is
what
like the lesser
they've done
evil.
that, though. They've
No,
done
they
that.
have. I mean, like we've seen it with Bunch how they've taken certain plays out or taken certain routes out of the play. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just going off the top of my head. I think if they start taking too much out, then maybe that's a rabbit hole they're not trying to go down. I mean, who knows why they make the decisions they make, but I just think that might be a reason why they don't do that. But
Yeah, like
yeah.
I understand, and a lot of people hate when they take stuff out of the game instead of fix it. Me, myself included, like dime flat or a lot of other nickel NASCAR, that kind of stuff, where they couldn't fix it with run fits and stuff. So we want more back, but it sounds like based off the leaks, we're gonna get more customizable playbooks next year, which I thank the gods for. Hopefully, the blocking in other sets work. Like, the reason people are in bunch, you say they take a lot of plays out, it's because its blocking is so good against heavy pressure.
Yeah.
You can block 7, and it picks up a lot of stuff with that offset tight end.
There's so many reasons that people stick in bunch that a lot of people that are like more casual don't understand, and they're like, oh, they're just spamming the same plays. But it's not so much that. There's so many problems with the game. Like you said, protection is one. Bunch is one of the few formations where you can protect yourself against pretty much any type of pressure because of like the way you can set up a max protect with it. But also the spacing in the game is just bad. That's why you don't really see people run spread, because you can't run it realistic to how it is in real life because the spacing sucks in the game. Bunch is one of the few formations that creates like the proper amount of spacing to where you can get people open. And with how overpowered the user is in terms of like a good user can blanket half the field by baiting.
Yep.
Like, you have to run formations that allow your receivers to get in spots where you can get them open and a user can't get to them. That's why people run bunch, because it's one of the only formations that actually can set you up for success. There's so many formations in the game that just don't work because the game isn't made for them to work. And I think a lot of people don't get that.
100% agree. Yeah, like, so I agree with the bunch take there. It's funny, those compressed sets can attack the sidelines better than spread can.
Exactly.
That's one thing, like, because the user can't cover the middle and the sideline, even though I've seen them get goddamn close to my corner routes. It's hard to cover both the middle and the sideline. So basically, you're with that bunch, with that deep corner route that they got out of Pat's and Buck's bunch and a few other bunches. It's super powerful. I run out of no. What do I run? Tight flex right now, and I got a deep corner, and it's so fucking powerful against cover 2, and a lot of people are running cover 2. They're like, if you don't have a deep corner in your repertoire in your playbook, you're really nerfing yourself on offense.
Right.
And that's why so many people run bunch. Why don't you have a deep corner, Tex?
I
What the
don't be out
fuck?
here. I mean, y'all be cheesing, bro.
How is a deep corner cheesing?
I mean, because you can't guard it defensively. Like, you gotta get
That's
lucky.
the fucking point!
Like, my thing
If
is,
you're not
you can't
playing Madden
counter
with
it.
an unfair scheme, you're not playing Madden correctly, Tex.
Golly, man. Like, the fact that that's not counterable with a regularized play call is annoying. Like, you gotta get lucky and cover 6 play 6 to stop it occasionally. Occasionally.
Like, here's how you build a scheme in Madden. Find something completely unfair and cheesy, and then build a scheme around it. All you need is like
That's all you
one
do,
or two
yeah.
plays. Yeah,
Bro.
It's like you do
People-
in a minigame. It's like what you do
Yeah.
when you build a deck in Hearthstone. Find something completely unfair and broken,
I got you.
and then build a deck around it.
Yeah, people tell me that I'm an idiot because, like, I be playing house rules. I got a blitz that's cheesy that I can run, and I got offensive plays that I can run that's gonna get open. I'm just like, why? I just kind of want to play a real football game. I only
That's
break
the
that out
dumbest
when
fucking
somebody
thing
else
I've
is
ever heard you
cheesing
say,
me.
Tex.
Huh?
I have an offensive play that can get open, but I don't call it. What the fuck?
Dog, I don't want to.
Text.
Thing about it is, right? I don't I like playing football to play football. I don't like playing Madden just to get wins, right?
But
I like
the
kind
thing
of
is-
going out here and having a little bit of fun. I don't have fun just running 3 plays and throwing the corner out at the
don't have to only run
8.5
3
seconds.
plays.
Huh?
But
You don't
you're
only
never
have to
coming
run
out
3
in a
plays.
play that you think isn't gonna work though. Even if you say
No, I
like,
do.
you know
I
what
do.
mean?
I do. I dead ass do. I come out in
Oh,
Wildcat.
yeah,
I know it's
I
not.
can't.
I'll come out in
I
Wildcat. I'm
couldn't get down with
like,
that.
dog, this happened on stream
Terrible.
yesterday. I was like, what? I'm coming out in Wildcat. Jeremy Shockey's gonna have a choice to block one of these 2 guys. He's gonna get confused and just run between them. That's exactly what he did. I do that. I set myself up, but it's entertainment, so I kind of don't mind it. So I do come out in plays that I know aren't possibly
I mean,
gonna work.
you can switch it up and still win. Like I don't even run bunch like a whole lot. Like I have it in my playbook and I go to it often. But the more the years going on, I'm like under center. I'm running the ball. I'm run tons of formations. I mean, of course, I have my go-to plays when I like really, if it's a big third down, I really need to convert. I'm going to one of maybe 5 plays, but you can mix it up and still win. I think it's harder to stop someone that mixes it up properly, because if someone is just running the same 3 plays out a bunch, even if they're really good at it, you still have like a 1 in 3 chance of kind of guessing right and having the right adjustments to shut it down. And then you just have to do that for a few plays in a row. When someone's constantly coming out in a different formation, you don't even really know what to adjust to yet until they've run a play so many times. So like I mix it up and still do a decent job,
Eric,
but
yeah.
and I have more
Let's
fun,
do the-
doing that. But
Let's do the math on that. So how many downs do you have to get a first down, Eric?
if you're not playing house rules, you got 4.
4. And now you can guess their play 1 of 3 times, right?
I'm saying like if
say-
they have like 1 to 3 plays, you have like a 1
Yeah,
in 3
so-
chance of getting the right adjustments out
Yeah.
there.
So they have 4 chances to win 2 out of 3 times, right?
Pretty much.
Why do you think people run 3 plays? That's the math on Madden.